Yo, what's up, everybody? It's A.K.A. the Wizard, and this is the Put Up. Each week, we bring a different artist on and share their entire story from the beginning to where they are right now and where you can find them and keep updated with what they're doing next and everything. So, like, share, and subscribe if you're joining us today below. And so I met this artist that I'm going to bring on to the show today at an event, actually. I got to see her perform live for the first time ever. And it was crazy. I will say that. It was exciting and crazy, you know? Without further ado, let's introduce you, MJ of Vox Confidential. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, like always, you know?
On.
Welcome to the Put Up.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And you're on your lunch break right now.
Yes,
right?
yes, I am.
Yes, so it just shows the level of commitment with independent artists. You know what I mean? Where you're like literally in the middle of work hopping on here to like do this with me. So Thanks for coming today. We're going to just hop into the interview because we want to hear all about you and what you're about today. I mean, I know a little bit from going to that show because it was kind of like that a little bit, but everybody watching today doesn't. So let's let them know, okay?
Sure.
So we'll go right back to the beginning. Like, tell us about how you started out as an artist, your creative journey, and like what you did to get started as an artist.
Well, when I was about 4 years old or so, my mom noticed me playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on a Fisher-Price xylophone in a toy store that we went to. So she decided to put me into piano lessons. And then I did the Royal Conservatory until grade 8 piano. And then around 11 or 12 years old, I got this little Casio that had all these fun rock presets.
Like 61 key thing, right?
Yeah. And I started writing my own kind of cheesy pop songs at the time up in my room, and I recorded them on cassette tapes. I still have some.
Yes, that's what I used to do.
And eventually, by the time I was in my 20s, I met some cool rock and roll people in the Vancouver music scene because I'm originally from Vancouver.
Right.
I grew up. And I started playing solo did some open mics, and eventually I got actual gigs. And then I started playing in different bands. Sometimes it was my own band that I would lead, and other times I was like a side keyboard player, singer, and yeah, a lot of good experiences.
And your name, Vox Confidential, it comes from the old school organ, right?
Yes.
Vox Continental. It's like a 1960s, 50s organ, right?
Yeah. So what I've got here is the modern version made by Korg. Korg bought Vox a few years ago, and they put out this modern version of the Vox Continental, but it has like a lot of the same sounds.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so the Vox Continental organ, it's shrill and stabby, just like me.
Nice. And actually, we're going to hear a couple tracks today of yours that feature that sound, right?
Yeah.
Should be amazing. Yeah, so stick around, everybody, if you are here watching. But, you know, tell everybody, because I was listening to your music. I'm like, what genre is this? Describe everybody your style or sound. Like, what makes you unique?
It's kind of 60s garage rock, psychedelic surf. So kind of hints back to that era, though sometimes we have more modern sounds as well, like B-52s. They're like 2000s revival garage punk.
Yo, shout out B-52s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and actually one of the songs, like when I heard it that you sent to me, I was like, yo, it kind of sounds like the Beatles or something. You know what I mean? With a female vocalist on it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was very inspired by a lot of the 60s music. I used to listen to like my parents' records and tapes and stuff when I was a kid.
Yo, it's exactly the same as me. My parents had like Beatles tapes, like the old school, you know, those old school cassette tape like holder things? And they had it filled with like all this classic stuff. And I actually took one of them, an Elvis Presley tape, and I recorded over it, and they were really pissed.
Oh, no.
With my like tinkly 5-year-old piano music, you know? It was funny.
But
yo, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just they had this, my parents had this Doors cassette tape. It It was actually the soundtrack from the Doors movie. It was like a greatest hits thing, but I
Nice.
used to listen to it over and over again, and I was like, wow, I really like these keyboards. That's super cool. And then I wanted to learn to play like that.
Yeah, it's wild that we all come from this like era of that, right? Like oldies 1090s radio and stuff like that, and the old school cars and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so where do you draw inspiration for your art? Like, where do you find ideas for the music that you write? Where does it all come from?
Well, sometimes it's like stuff from my life, and other times it's not that at all, like pop culture or fantasy. Like some of it has no basis in reality at all, like Journey to the Core of the Earth. Like I've never ridden in a giant drill boring down into the Earth's hot molten lava crusts to discover a magical world. But I did see a movie like that, so that was kind of the inspiration.
Yeah, and that was the first song I think I ever heard of yours that night, right? It was freaking crazy. That's what I said. That was a wild night because I had never heard any music like that performed live, especially. You know what I mean?
Was it?
Sorry?
What night was it? Was it?
Oh, it's for showboaters actually. At
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Boathouse. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And it was crazy that you can do all that technical stuff and sing at the same time, actually.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like shook by that. Yeah, it's
It
crazy.
takes practice, and sometimes I do have to write the keyboard parts so that I can actually sing while I play them, because there's some stuff where I've written like that and I couldn't do it. I had to modify it.
Nice. Okay, so walk us through like the process from like right at when you get an idea for a song all the way up to how it gets released on Spotify or on DSPs or however you release your music. Like, how does that process look?
Well, I mean, it's like changed over the years with the various technological advances and stuff. So, but usually I just get like an idea that's kind of a seed of the song, if you will. And sometimes the lyrics will come first, or sometimes it'll be a tune or a riff, and then I write the lyrics later. And then I'll sit down at my keyboard and start writing out more lyrics and musical parts. I use voice notes on my phone or like Google Docs or something, or sometimes I'll actually
voice recorder.
Sometimes I'll actually set up my mixer into my computer and like record a proper song with a vocal and keys tracks. And anyway, like with our latest song, Unlovable, I started playing that around some open mics around town, and it was well received. And then I taught it to my band, and we practiced, and then they helped with some arranging, like some of their own parts, drums, guitars, or whatever. And then we played it live at our last show in Hamilton a couple of weeks ago for the first time.
And how was it?
It was
Everybody
great.
loved it, right?
Yeah, we had dancing and everything.
Nice. Well, yo, I think we're gonna hear a track of yours. Journey to the Core of the Earth, actually. So yeah, tell everybody about that track, a little more about it before we go to it.
So it's funny because actually those two tracks are more of a Hammond organ sound than a Vox organ sound, but like I do like a lot of the different 60s style keyboards. Like pretty much it was either, if you heard an organ on a 60s song, it was a Vox, a Hammond, or a Farfisa.
A what? A Farfisa.
Yeah, but Journey,
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Journey is not an easy one to jam with a band for the first time because it has a time signature change right in the middle.
Well, we're gonna hear it actually. Let's go hear it right now for the people.
To the core of the earth, tunneling through my suburban, deciphered. Prehistoric mushroom taller than me, petrified subterranean trees, on a mission to the nucleus, journey to the core of the earth, gravity pulling and pulling on us, journey to the core of the earth. Who knows what we'll find down there? Maybe history, maybe treasure, maybe Hades or the river Styx. I wanna know what makes this planet tick. From a distance, but don't get too close. The pull is stronger than you think. Don't get something. Don't get something.
Well, yo, we're back. We just heard Journey to the Core of the Earth by Vox Confidential, MJ. It's an amazing track, actually. There's so much technical stuff to it, you know what I mean? But yo, like, share, and subscribe if you're just joining us below here, and we're going to continue the interview. And actually, just before, last week I didn't have my A.K.A. the Wizard hoodie because I lost it. So I actually got one of my fans to bring me this today so I could be back on the show with it.
Cool.
And they're available online. You can grab your own if you want. Anybody watching. So cheers. But yeah, we're going to hop back into the interview. We're going to get a little bit serious now, MJ. What has been the biggest challenge that you've faced since you started making music?
I guess getting booked for gigs. Like when I first started the band, we didn't have any recorded music and
Right.
no videos, so it was hard to get like any venues to like care about us, or because they didn't
It's
know
like, what do they hear of yours to actually like
why are
know
we
who you are, kind of thing, right?
So, and then eventually I kind of like spammed and hounded as many of them as I could within an hour or two radius. And then I followed up like maybe a month or two later if I didn't get a response. And some of them said yes. And last year we got a lot of shows, and there was more video of us performing as we did more shows. So that it kind of snowballed.
And then it kind of builds on itself as time goes
Yeah,
on, right?
now I regularly get other musicians asking me for advice on how to get gigs.
Give them some advice right now.
Yeah, like I said, just kind of be persistent and like message a lot of them. Like also, it's a good idea to like, make sure it's like the right kind of venue for your
Right.
stuff. Like we're kind of a loud band, so if it's a restaurant that just books like an acoustic act, they're probably not going to like us for what they're trying to do. And
So a bit of branding, right? Like knowing
yeah,
what
and
you
also
are and where to fit, right?
another thing I did was I messaged like different bands about like if they were similar in style, or even if they weren't, and just was like, hey, you guys are really cool, we'd love to do a show with you sometime, because sometimes bands will be putting together their own show and they'll need to get other bands to be on the bill, so sometimes that helps.
Nice networking, right? The key to the entire industry. It's a who you know industry, the music industry, right?
Yeah, and also just like going to open mics is a networking thing as well. That helps. Like you meet lots of different people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've heard you before. You're cool," and then it goes from there.
You know what? The funniest thing is because me and my wife, we're a duo, right? And we
Yeah,
just experienced this exact same thing with like finding our first gigs and stuff, right? And it really is. You got to get out there and you got to make yourself known and you got to like meet everybody and talk to them. And there's corporate structures in place in cities that you kind of have to, we call it like the glass ceiling. You have to break through this glass ceiling to figure it all out so that you can know who to talk to get those gigs, right?
yeah, a little bit. But
Okay,
the
so
more you do, then eventually you start to get more well known and you get better gigs.
right. And that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Actually, we've got like, and actually, I'm going tonight to meet another engineer, mastering engineer guy, and it should be amazing.
Cool.
Just always out there trying to get like more contacts and meeting everybody, let them know who you are, what you do. We're going to tell them about the put up, just like we're doing now, right?
Yeah,
It's going to be a great time.
right on.
So yeah, on the flip side of that, what's like the biggest success that you've had as a music artist so far?
Well, when I was living in Vancouver still, I was asked to play in a Stranglers cover band. And I don't know if you know the Stranglers.
I have no idea.
Like they're kind of like an early 80s, late 70s new wave punk with keyboards kind of band from the UK. And the
I'm
songs
going to
were
look them up.
the songs were like more difficult than anything I'd ever taken on before, but then I did it and it sounded good, and we did some shows and it was well received.
Nice, yeah, just putting yourself out there like that, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing what can happen, honestly. Okay, so let's get a little technical now. So you said you do a lot of your recording, right?
Well, for Vox Confidential, that was all self-produced. Our guitarist, Tyson, he did most of the work, the editing and mixing and
Nice.
recording of us at his studio in his apartment. And everybody contributed like some percussion and backup vocals and different things.
And actually, yeah, the second song that we're gonna hear has like gang vocals going on inside of it, right? That was you guys, right?
Yep.
Nice. Okay, so like, what does your setup look like? You got a little recording rig back there and stuff, like.
I mean, it's just a Soundcraft mixing board from Long and McQuaid's, and this amp is not a great one. It's a Yorkville, but I've had it for years, and it's good and loud. And then I also have my Korg X50, which was like the first keyboard I had. It has a lot of really good sounds on it too, some more pads and synthesizers and things. And then yeah, so I like to, if I'm trying to learn a cover song, for example, I like to try and find the sheet music in MuseScore. It's a Windows.
Oh, like the actual.
Yeah, and then I can, because I can read music, but not like, it's not like I can look at it and play while I'm reading it. So I have to really kind of study it. And I learn better if I hear things and I learn by ear. And with MuseScore, you can actually play, like have it play the song for you.
Right. Yeah, the technology is there today, right? Okay, so is there anything unique that you don't think any other artists do that you do when you go to make a song? I mean, your music speaks for itself. It's so different than most people's, right?
Well, it depends. Like if I'm trying to, sometimes I'll actually like kind of research and listen to some other songs, not to like copy what they're doing, but just to kind of get a sense of the vibe. And like, for example, like if I really like the keyboard sound, I might be like, oh, I'm going to try and get a similar sound going for this song.
Nice. So like, yo, this is the funniest thing. I interviewed Alex, right? And he said the exact same thing as that. And he's like Royal Conservatory trained too.
So it isn't unique.
Probably unique to like both of you. You know what I mean?
Just
it's amazing. It's funny how you guys think the same way though, with like that same training. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's okay. This is
yes.
This is my cat Penny. She likes to help.
Beautiful keyboard player too. I love it.
Helping. And I'm pretty sure that she accidentally deleted my memory bank sounds the other day by walking on the right combination of keys.
Oh no. Yeah, that can happen, I guess. Eh?
I don't really use the memory bank much anyway, so it's not a big deal.
Well, that was pretty unique. We've never had a cat on the put up. That was great. I love it. Well, yo, let's go to your second song. I want to hear that one. What's it called again? I forget.
Soul's Mate.
Soul's Mate. Tell everybody about Soul's Mate.
So it's kind of, it's also kind of a fantasy kind of thing. Like it's about somebody who's died, and a couple. They died together, and like basically it's their ghost. Their ghosts are talking to each other.
Oh, nice.
How it's going to be okay because they're going to go into the light.
Yes, I love it.
And it also has some kind of like references to like astrology and witchy magic and things.
All right, well, let's hear it.
Centuries ago in ancient Greece, Paris shot down a sacred albatross. He spun the bird's wings cross as they spoke ships on the still lovely Helen from King Menelaus. He turned the wheel backwards, was the worst speller ever. Was the Trojan War wasn't the only trouble caused. It threw the world's mating patterns way off course. That explains all unrequited love and divorce. But love is an awesome force. Hello, lover, are we dead? The last thing I can remember is the blow to the head, the big blow to the head. We are floating, floating into the light. As long as we're together, everything is gonna be alright. We'll be alright. I spent years looking for love in all the wrong faces. Then Lady Lucinda told me this tale. She told me how I could reverse this evil spell and put my love life back on the right trail. I set the wheel in motion by the light of a full moon. That I met you after that real soon. I gave you my soul and you gave me your heart. Call it fate, call it karma, it's in our chart. Even death won't do us part. Hello, lover, are we dead? The last thing I can remember is a blow to the head, the big blow to the head. We are floating, floating into the light. As long as we're together, everything is gonna be alright. We'll be alright. Ago, we were walking down the street on the way to our dream house amid urban sprawl. When a huge SUV threw us 35 feet and quickly ended it all. Before we knew it, our lives flashed before our eyes. We never even got to say our goodbyes. We left everything behind when we left this world. Holding hands into the cosmos we swirled. Hello, lover, are we dead? The last thing I can remember is a blow to the head, a big blow to the head. We are floating, floating into the light. As long as we're together, everything's gonna be alright. We'll be alright. Hello, lover, are we dead? The last thing I can remember is a blow to the head, a big blow to the head. We are floating, floating into the light. Now as long as we're together, everything is gonna be alright. We'll be alright. Gloria, Gloria. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Space jacket. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Soul chicken.
Welcome back to the Put Up, everybody. I'm A.K.A. the Wizard, and what you heard was Soul's Mate by MJ of Vox Confidential. Say another word about that track real quick.
Well, it was inspired by like some 60s kind of sounds like Beatles, but also like the Doors. It kind of resembles Soul Kitchen by the Doors a little bit, not too much.
And you had your entire band like do those gang vocals that are in there, eh?
Yeah, they were great. They kind of came up with the harmony parts and on their own, and I didn't have to tell them what to do too much.
Yeah, it literally has that same sound to it. It's amazing. I love it. Well, yo, just before we keep going, anybody that hasn't liked, shared, and subscribed to this down below, go ahead and do that right now. And we're gonna jump back into connection to fans. How do you connect with your audience and like make your art relatable to them?
Well, when we're performing live, we just kind of try to be regular people and not take ourselves too seriously and like talk and joke with the audience. And as far as like, we're just trying to make music that's like fun and danceable.
Nice. And like your online presence, do you have anything going on like that for like promotional to like get it out to people once it's already released or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, we make like stupid videos sometimes. Or
I
like,
love it.
just have like stuff on YouTube and Instagram.
It's so interesting, right? Because like 10, 15 years ago, we didn't have to do all that stuff for
Yeah, I
promotional
know.
use, right?
Content.
And now like coming up with this kind of stuff, it's just like, what the hell do you make, right?
Yeah. People really like stupid shit. You don't have to try that hard.
Right. We're overthinking it most of the time, right?
Like
Okay,
you could just make like a video of you in your car talking about something random, and like people will like that for some reason.
hold a coffee up or something, just
Yeah,
anything will work.
actually, on my TikTok, I made a video about making coffee, and for some reason, that's wildly popular.
Nice.
Somehow, I'm a coffee influencer.
Well, I mean, who doesn't like coffee, right? I actually have a sound library and I have an entire like 5-minute coffee brewing sound, like HD 96 kilohertz coffee brewing. And like one of the shitty old school like coffee makers. Yeah, that's wonderful. New day and age, right? Just
Yeah,
making all this social content and like thinking of different ways to promote this stuff. And then like try and bust through algorithms and all that stuff to
Yeah.
actually get it seen once it's on there, right?
right. Yeah.
Okay, so like when you make your music, what do you hope people take away from that experience when they hear it?
Well, like you said that like what I'm doing is kind of unique, so I like people to notice that, and like especially if they're fans of like 60s garage rock, like every once in a while I meet somebody that I can just nerd out about 60s garage rock with, and that's really
Nice.
cool. And it's just nice to have that connection of people supporting one another. Like I like to go to shows and see other people's music and talk to them and meet them, and vice versa.
Nice. Yeah, it's key to get out there and just like live life too, right? At the same
Yeah.
time and like experience some of this stuff as we go as artists, right?
Yeah, and playing music live for me is like therapy. And I hope that like the people that are there are like having the best time.
Yeah, honestly, I took a 20-year hiatus. Like I used to play live when I was like 14, 15 years old, right?
Yeah.
And then I stopped forever. And then we just got back into it last year and it's been like this most freeing thing ever to do again, you know?
That's great. Well,
Yeah, and I think it's key for artists because there's a lot of like I'll call them online artists today where they like release music, but they're not actually out in their communities like playing it live for people, right?
yeah.
I think it's like the key component to the entire artistry thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about projects and things that you're working on right now. Like what's next for you? What are we up to right now?
Well, I've been learning the accordion and
What? Really?
get out to
Yeah.
mics with my accordion and do more playing with that. So I want to keep going with that and get better at it. And then also my
Accordion.
band Vox Confidential is working on some new music. We've been practicing some new songs that we're going to play at our next shows. and we might. We were talking about either another 3-song EP or even just singles. So we'll
Nice.
do some more recording this year, and then on
Get some accordion into that too.
we might. We're talking about that. I just want to get a little bit better at it, and then. On May the 30th, we have another landlocked luau at the Union in Kitchener. So that
Nice.
would be fun.
I actually played there last April.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's an interesting little venue.
yeah, it's great.
Crazy. Yeah, it's like in an old school union house, eh?
Yeah.
And yo, funny story about the accordion actually. Before my wife's grandfather passed away, he actually opened on stage for Johnny Cash at one point. I was
Oh,
like an
wow.
entertainer. Yeah. And I ended up going and helping clean out his like house before they sold it. And I actually have out in the other room there a 1950s Hohner full-scale accordion
Ooh,
that I believe Johnny Cash owned at one point. And it's
really?
just sitting out. Yeah, it's like a relic, man. I gotta get that thing put in like a glass case in a museum or something, you know?
Does
It's
it
just
like
wild.
all the buttons work?
Everything's perfect on it. Like I'm scared to touch it, to be
That's
honest, right?
amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe I don't know. I wish I could bring it out right now, but it's too hard to get to.
Those things are a beast.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it out on like a social reel or something. Everybody look for that. Okay, so how can fans and everybody get involved with you, support you? Where do they find you? We're gonna have some of your links posted below the video here today. But tell
So-
everybody how to stay connected with you and watch you as you progress through your artistry.
We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's Vox Confidential, all one word. Or my personal Instagram is MJ Keyboardist. So either,
Right.
preferably both.
And I think it's funny. It's MJ. God, I love him. No. There's multiple meanings to that, especially in like because I work with a lot of rappers and they're just constantly like, "Yo, I'm going to get some MJ right now." You know what I mean? I love it. Well, yo, thanks for coming on the Put Up today
Yeah.
and sharing about your music. It's been a great time, actually.
Guys, thanks for having me.
And everybody else, before we go today, make sure you go and check her out and her band and go follow them on all of their social feeds and make sure you stay connected with them as they grow. And otherwise, have a great afternoon. Cheers.